Good morning from the streets of Sanliurfa. We're here just for 2 days. We're going to see Gobeklitepe, and we have a bit of a late start because Stacy was trying to do some sunglass shopping. Look at how successful it was. But we got to find something to eat. We got to find some breakfast, and so we can get started with our Gobeklitepe adventure and see what Sanliurfa's got to offer.
I am made to be free.
Sunglasses. She got them for 100 Turkish lira, not 1,200 Turkish lira. We found this little spot and we're getting what's called Balikligol, and we haven't had it since Istanbul. And it's a cream with honey. And then you just like dip your bread, and it's kind of like a clotted cream with honey.
So here it is. It looks a little bit more like cheese than cream like we've had before, but I'm excited to try this.
Really good. I think maybe we'll have breakfast here tomorrow. Our accommodation doesn't have breakfast. We gotta find our own. We're at this park here, kind of in central historic Urfa, and they have this thing that we can't determine the name of. Maybe it just appeared here on the screen, and it's got sacred carps in it. It's just like a really neat mosque kind of feature. There's a castle up on the hill up there, and a Stacy right here. Lots of nice things to see here in the park.
It's very pretty in this little park. I wasn't expecting like the park part.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of this mosque thing, but
it's very hot today. It's 40 today, and I didn't put on sunscreen, so I'm gonna find some shade.
even these canals in the park are all full of this carp.
We were just reading that this pond area has a sort of a story behind it and why it exists and why there's fish in it. So apparently there was a prophet Abraham who was in the area, and a long time ago he said, don't worship all these false gods. And the guy who was the false god who was running the place threw him off a mountain.
Into a fire.
But Allah, in his wisdom and love or whatever, turned the fire into water. And so the guy splashed in and all the embers turned into goldfish. So that's why this water's here, and that's why these goldfish are important to that local area.
That's why they're sacred.
Yeah, there's a little history for you, a little Quran history. This part of Turkey feels distinctly different. It feels distinctly almost like more Near Eastern. Not a lot of places in Turkey have felt really different, but here is a very distinctly different place, and I'm kind of a little bit sad that we're here in the summer and it's so hot because we are only here and then we're leaving. We're headed to the north. So I think if we were to come back, this would be a neat place to come back to, this area, the east side of Turkey.
We're heading to the Sanliurfa Archeology Museum, which is in this big building here. It's €10 for the Archeology Museum, but it also includes the Mosaic Museum, so we'll head there after.
€5 each, let's
Yeah.
go.
And it's very pleasantly air conditioned in here, so we are spending a lot of time. This is the oldest human-sized statue found in the world. That's pretty cool. It's 11,000 years old. Me after getting off the couch.
In pretty much all the museums in Turkey, your ticket comes with an audio guide, but in the vast majority of places it does not work. Here it works, and in some places it does work, it's just an AI voice, but here it's one of like the voiced ones, and she's the wind, and she's like, oh, I've seen everything, like, and she's like, whoosh, comes blowing in and stuff, and it's really good.
You're not used to seeing me, but you may have heard me whistle, so I'm just going to talk. I'm the wind. The curator said that I've been around for tens of thousands of years and know these places best. Welcome. Let me tell you what happened in the last 2 million years. There are 5,000 artifacts inside, all in chronological order. I have so much more to tell you, but I know it's time for you to go. Everybody leaves. Except me. I'm very pleased to have spent 2 million years around here. Please, come again. And send your loved ones over, all right? Goodbye.
Well, that was the Archeology Museum. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really good.
And the audio guide was really good, kind of got you through at a good pace. And now we're gonna head to the Mosaic Museum.
This is very cool. This is such a cool museum. And something that's really specifically unique and really cool about it. You can see the structure here. The museum is built around a discovered Byzantine villa. So all of this is original in place. And then there are some, you can see along the outside edge, that were brought in to the museum, but the actual museum is centered around this old villa with mosaic in place. Very cool. That's really neat.
The Mosaic Museum. It was very cool. Both these museums were really nice.
And neither of us expected that to be as cool as it was.
Yeah, that was
and have it be like based around an actual villa in place. That's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, for €10, these museums are well worth it. For sure.
Easily worth it. 5 each? Come on.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother filming. We weren't going to. It's not a food video. But this is dinner tonight. With Iran, that's probably the better Iran we've had. Today's how's dinner?
It's really good. The roasted peppers is delicious. The meat is like crispy on the outside, juicy. The sauce is delectable. It's so good. And the Iran, I can drink.
It's tolerable.
Yeah. Hello again from inside the beautiful little park that's here in Sanliurfa. We didn't explore the park too much yesterday, but today we are gonna spend a little bit more time. And there's this like beautiful mosque in the park, right up against this cliff. It's very pretty.
If you're going to Gobeklitepe and you're taking the bus, this is the Archeology Museum. This is the parking lot. You come to the west, it's this bus stop right here. There's no indication of any buses that come to it or that it goes to Gobeklitepe, but it does. They said every hour on like 9:45, 10:45, 11:45, 12:45. So we'll see.
Here comes our bus. He actually passed us and then gave us a little wave and then took a little break at the museum. But here it is, number 0, every hour. Completing our tour of ancient sites through Turkey, we've come finally to the famous and the oldest. Coincidentally, we went from newest to oldest. The famous site Gobeklitepe. Gobeklitepe is famous because about 12,000 years ago, they built this site, and 12,000 years ago, we did not have domestication of either plants or animals. And so the site and the cooperation it took to build the site and where the population would have come from to build the site is what makes this site unique. Because it predates agriculture and communal living, it didn't serve any practical purpose, so they suspect it obviously must have been for worship purposes, and so that makes it the world's oldest discovered temple. So that's why we're here, to round off our Neolithic tour of Turkey. We are inside the visitor center. It's hot, so you get a little view of that bad boy. The bus ride is good, but it's air conditioned in here, so it's really nice. And then there's an exhibition center we're gonna go to right after we get our tickets, and hopefully that's air conditioned too. Then we can sprint for the archaeological site, and then sprint back when we're done, and then hang out here. The bus leaves on the hours from here as well. It wasn't huge, but it was pretty cool, and there's like a very artistic
show, and then there's like a little mini documentary thing, and then some information stuff with an audio guide. It was nice. So now we're gonna go catch the shuttle up to the excavation site. I can't say that word.
We are overlooking the famous building C. It's very cool here. I can like feel the history. It's really nice. There's like a little mini Gobeklitepe up here. Well, the whole site's called Gobeklitepe, but there's a little mini building up here. I like to imagine it's like the kids' table of temples, you know? You come up from harvest to worship, and then you get sent off to the kids' table like Thanksgiving dinner.
It was very, very cool. Seeing all the carvings in the pillars was so interesting. The audio guide explained a decent amount too, which was really nice. But now we're just waiting for the shuttle to take us back down and to catch the bus. But it's hot and we're hurting a little bit. We're back in Sanliurfa now, and last thing we're gonna do today, and the last thing we're gonna do in Sanliurfa, is go explore these caves. It's free, and then it's just really hot, so we're gonna have a siesta and then maybe go out again for dinner or whatever. Okay, for a free thing you can just explore freely, it's really cool. It has like this chapel thing, and it's all these tombs is kind of the main use of these caves. There's more information than the Uchasar castle. So that's kind of annoying because we paid for that one and this one's free, but I'm glad there is. It's really cool.
We have a 13-hour bus tomorrow up to Trabzon, the north, right along the Black Sea, where hopefully it's like 15 degrees cooler.
Yeah.